April 23rd, 2025. When the world gets quiet, spirit gets loud. And when spirit gets loud, the world doesn't make sense anymore. In my wildest dreams, I meet my castle in the sky called Scotland, a promised land of the likes of Cinderella, a woman whose life is turned into ash right before the invitation arrives that will change everything. If The Lost Book is an exact blueprint of the path I was destined to walk, then the nonfiction work recorded in room 79 of ICU, to Tear, to Purple Stones realized, must become a film to cast the actor authored as Chance. But what if the story is less about the details, and moreover significant to the symbolism of change and character movement? For example, in Skyla's world of fiction, her husband died. In my reality, an accident took my husband from me, by way of change in the part of the brain that retains memory and emotion. He forgot who I was to him. He didn't die, but the connection forged over decades together no longer existed. We died. In Skyla's story, her life biography to the tragic ending was made a film, casting a stranger to play the role of her husband she had lost. What if my story doesn't need performance behind cameras to slot new love into the placement of a man that I once called home? They say some souls share a frequency so kindred, the two walk separate paths experiencing within every emotion and memory possessed by the other, until they meet and merge together as one, knowing everything about the other person, the past, present, and future, without needing to speak a single word. That's how I felt when I met the council in 1995. Leaving my body and this physical world in death, I met the ones who knew everything I had ever done, ever experienced, every tear I'd ever cried, every mistake I had made, and everything I had before me in the future too. There are no words to express the joy and the peace in that space where I was fully known, illuminated, and loved unconditionally. It's as if they were me, and I was them too. No separation, no disagreements, no pain, no sorrow, no loneliness. We were one. We were love. I try to imagine what that might feel like here on Earth to experience such a thing in the human body. But all I've learned here in my journey through many loves, come and gone, is that such a thing doesn't exist in this realm. The closest I've come to such was in loving a dog. Humans, on the other hand, have not been so kind. In Skyla's Lost Book, the chemistry between her soul and the actor was more powerful than all this world could give or take away. It's as if the two had no choice in the matter. They met, they resisted until resistance was dismantled. They separated and fought hard to forget one another. And then a force much greater than themselves pulled them together in a new beginning, to walk in a new chapter. I thought I knew who he was for a moment in time. A man from California who entered my life in 2019 as my husband divorced me and moved out. I felt a spark between us and an inner knowing that my life would never again be the same after we met. Fast forward nearly 6 years later, I feel I have been running in circles like a rat in a cage, waiting to reach something that's never going to arrive. The more clues and messages I receive, the more I had pursued him as my destined partner in a new chapter. And the more he pushed me away to pursue his life, his career, fame, fortune, and probably women too. Last November, I met with an elderly couple from Washington who authored a book called Twin Souls. They told me this year, 2025, a person was coming into my life and my purpose would be aligned with this meeting of fated significance. I told them about the California man and they both firmly professed, he is not the one, there's another coming. Alice told me I needed to close this door with this man. Dennis, on the other hand, argued it wouldn't matter either way. Nothing can stop what God has ordained, he said. You do need to know what he wants from you though. There's a reason his soul is not letting you go. The truth is, over the last 2 years in Miami, I've had at least a dozen dreams of this man, all painful and all lifelike, seemingly experiences from past lives that occurred between us. And in a past life regression hypnosis session with Dr. Anne-Marie, I saw myself leaving him behind to board a ship. He had betrayed me and denied his love for me in fear of losing his status in his kingdom, and scared of war with my people who came for me. So he let me go. I watched him in spirit, sitting at the rocks where the waves silenced his cries. He never recovered from the news of my drowning, and he lived the rest of his life in heartbreak and deep regret. Perhaps his soul just needed to know that I live, and I forgive him. And I go on now to find happiness and love on the other side of us parting ways. I would love to give that to him. To find this twin soul the elderly couple prophesied was coming into my life this year. The missing piece my heart has been longing to find ever since God woke me, resurrected me from death, and gave me the remembrance of the counsel and the unconditional love of the Book of Life. Time will tell.